Hey, good morning. Welcome to day 25 of FlyLady's 31 Baby Steps with me, FlyLady Premium Mentor Emma. I'm really excited that we've got this far. We're 25 days into the new year, and we are 25 days into our new habits and routines, and that's exciting. Today is kind of a reflection day. It's a day where we're going to talk about kind of FlyLady's journey and my journey and how I got here. And I've shared a little bit of that with you over the last 25 days and on other videos that I've done. But today, maybe I'll share a little bit more. There's a link down in the description, just right at the top there. You can go and read FlyLady's testimonial. She tells you about how she got started in her journey and how long it took her, what she did, and all of those kinds of things, and the differences that it made in her life. And it inspires me every time I read it. It inspires me because it reminds me that I can do it too. For me, for my story, which we'll come to in a minute, I don't know if it's very inspiring, but it's my story. So I will share that with you. And I just want to give you all kind of like heaps of praise and just let you know how good you're doing. Because there's been a lot going on in this last 25 days. We've introduced you to new words like swish and swipe, or terms like swish and swipe. And yeah, maybe you're making your bed and shining your sink every day, and maybe you aren't. Maybe you're watching these videos and reading the stuff on the FlyLady website, and there goes the puppy. It's real life in this house, I guess. Maybe you're reading those things and saying to yourself, well, I really want to do that, but I'm too overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. And if that's you and that's the case, that's fine. Start with shining your sink. And if that's all you do for the next week, excuse me just one second, Judy. If that's all you do for the next week, for the next 2 weeks, that's great. If it takes you a minute to stop being overwhelmed, then that's fine. Do it at your pace. FlyLady says it took her months to get going, and she would set goals every month for things that she wanted to get done. So that's great. Before we move on, how was that swish and swipe yesterday and hopefully this morning? I hope that went really well for you, and you're seeing just a difference in your bathroom. As you do it more and more, it will get cleaner and cleaner. And I know there was one comment yesterday about how mine only took me a minute, but that's because I'm cleaning clean. I do it every day, so it doesn't get the chance to get to where I have to scrub. I can just wipe it down and it's super quick. And that's the goal. That's what we want. We want to be cleaning clean. So it's that quick and that easy and that sort of small in our life that it just takes literally a minute to do. So my story. Okay, so as many of you know, I had 3 children really quite quickly. I had my first child just after I turned 22, and then 15 months later we welcomed a second child, and 16 months later we welcomed a third child. So I had 3 children in just under 32 months, which was crazy. It was busy, and they were all born by C-section as well. And the third time when I went to the hospital and to the consultant, I had to be under hospital care because I'd had 3 cesareans in such a short period of time. They were kind of shocked that I had done that, and actually we didn't plan for it. It just happened, and I believe our children came at the right time, and they came for us, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world, but it was very busy and it was very crazy. And I remember when I had my third child, my husband went to work for the first time after he'd had like that bit of time off work after while I'd recovered, and he left me, and I was feeding the baby, and the other 2 were quiet. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, where are these 2 children? And I got up and kind of went and found them in the bathroom, and they were cleaning the bathroom walls with toilet paper that they'd been dipping down the toilet after my son had been to the toilet and not flushed because he was 32 months old. And I just remember thinking, I am never going to get this. I am never going to be good enough. I'm not going to be a good enough mother. I'm going to let these children down. I'm the worst mother in the world. My children have just been cleaning walls with toilet water. And I called my husband sobbing, and he would just very sensibly called a friend who was 20 years older than me, who had her children. Her children were only 5 or 6 years younger than I am. And said, can you go and help? And she just kind of let me realize that actually I was doing a great job and I was all right. And even though I didn't feel I was, it was fine. And in 20 years time, I would find the toilet thing quite funny. And I do now. I think it's hilarious, and it kind of makes me shake my head, and I just think, oh my goodness. And you know what? They survived. It maybe wasn't my best mothering moment, but I had a brand new baby, and it was the first time I was on my own with that brand new baby. So life was busy. And we kind of, I'm so sorry about this. We kind of, Judy, we kind of fell into a sort of routine. It was not perfect. There was always too much laundry. The dishes were never quite as done as I wanted. The house was never as picked up as I would have liked it to have been. But we kind of didn't have to be anywhere. We didn't have real time constraints. My son went to kind of nursery school, but they don't mind so much if you're a little bit late. And so it was okay. And sort of as they got a little bit older, my daughter went to nursery school because she's only a school year behind him. He was born in the February of 1996 and she was born in the May of 1997. So they're only one school year apart. So she went off to nursery school. And in those times when I just had my youngest, when I just had Anthony, I could get a little bit more done. But most of the time I just enjoyed playing with him and having fun. And, you know, because they would only be gone a couple of days. Then school started. And they don't like it when you're late. So there was this already sort of slightly frazzled, not having enough sleep lady who then had to be somewhere on time, and that broke me. The laundry piles got bigger, the dishes piles got higher, the cleaning up got harder, and in amongst all of this, I had a dog to walk, and I had a life to live. And my dad was getting sick as well. They ran a pub in rural Somerset, and my dad was getting sick, so I was covering some of his work. And a year later, when he got really sick, and I kind of took over running the pub for him, while my mum kind of did the kitchen side of things. I was so grateful for the FlyLady stuff that I had in place. But let me go back to where I was. So one day I was up really early. I think one of the kids had got me up and I'd got them back to sleep, and it was 5 a.m. and I was just having some kind of computer time. I realise now probably what I should have been doing was shining my sink and getting everything going. But I didn't know that then. I didn't know any better. I didn't have routines in place. And I found this website. And it must have been near Christmas because I was reading about clutter-free Christmas gifts. Found this website and I read that. And you know how when we're on the internet, we often go down a rabbit hole. You go from one thing to another. Well, I clicked on one link from another for another on this website. And I was reading and understanding that basically this woman knew me. It was like she was talking about my life and the way I did things, and she understood me. And so I thought, well, I'm going to give this a try. I have nothing to lose at this point. I have laundry that is so overwhelming, it's terrifying. I have dishes that I don't know what to do with, and we're never anywhere on time, and I forget things, and I'm sort of so far behind I kind of meet myself on the way back. So I thought I had nothing to lose. So I tried, and it immediately made a difference. I didn't get it right to start off with. I tried to do all 31 baby steps in one day, which I'm sure we've all done. I thought I had to have the perfect control journal. I spent hours creating this amazing thing on a computer when actually what I should have done was written it all down on pieces of paper in pencil that I could rub out, because it would change. as I became more adept at my routines. And there were some things that it took me forever to get. And it probably, I think it took me a solid year to have some of those routines in place and longer to get others. And I think maybe that was because I was a bit dense, but honestly, I think it was the perfectionism. It was, my mum had always done the laundry. She'd folded stuff, ironed it, hung it and put it away, and I could not get past the ironing. I had to iron everything, and it took me about 5 years to let that perfectionism of ironing go. So here's my biggest tip: if this helps you, and it doesn't means you don't take as long to get it as I do, don't get hung up on the perfectionism. Don't worry about ironing things. Catch it straight out of the dryer and fold it. Take it straight out of the washing machine, and if it can't go in the dryer, hang it, stick it on a coat hanger, hang it somewhere to dry, and the weight will take most of the wrinkles out. And if you do need it to be ironed, iron it the night before as you get your clothes out, as you plan your outfit. Don't spend hours ironing and have this mountain of clean clothes that you just feel guilty about not having ironed. Don't do it. Buy clothes that are non-iron. When my kids were at school, I said when we were talking about washing, when my kids were at school, I used to have 15 white shirts a week that I had to deal with. I bought non-iron ones and made sure I caught them just as they came out of the dryer and folded them straight away. They were fine. Let the perfectionism go. So fast forward over that 5 years, we had a bumpy 5 years, really. We had my dad got sick and died, and I took over running their pub for them. My mum still did all the food side, but I did the kind of the front of house stuff. And so I would get home between midnight and 1 in the morning, get up, deal with the kids, go over there, do the lunchtime sort of opening, go pick the kids up from school, 2 of the kids up from school. Anthony was too little for school at that point. And get home, do the homework with them, feed them dinner. My husband would get home sort of just in time to put them to bed. I would go back, and we did that for the best part of 6 months. And then he passed away. And then we made the decision to close the pub, and we renovated it and turned it into a home. And that took about just over another year, and that was crazy dusty and sort of all the stuff that comes with renovating as well. And again, FlyLady saved me. And over the years, having those routines in place have meant that my house doesn't get overwhelming, that I can agree to go on a road trip with a friend at fairly short notice because actually I know that there's not mountains of things that I should be doing. I can study 3 modules of a university degree in a year, even though that's crazy, because actually I do have the time. I might procrastinate a little bit, but I do have the time, and I can pretty much hold it on track. And that's all down to having these routines in place, doing a little bit at a time, not getting overwhelmed with laundry, not getting overwhelmed with clutter in the house. My house has very little clutter in it because I'm a constant declutterer. I probably take a bag or 2 bags a month, to Goodwill to donate to charity because I will deal with things as they happen. And if I don't like something anymore, or it's I've got a new one, I will take that out of the house. So I'm well and truly fly washed, and it makes a difference. It saved me, and I said that before a few days ago, and I got emotional, and it's very possible that I could get emotional again. It made such a difference to my life in more ways, and I want that for you. FlyLady wants that for you, and I said that before. And I've often thought to myself over the years, if I'd have had a mentor, if I'd have had someone pointing some of these things out to me, I don't think it would have taken me 5 years to have that light bulb moment of letting the laundry go, because most of it I'd got. It was that thing that really held me back, the shining your sink and the switch and swipe in the bathroom, the making the bed, thinking about dinner, all of that stuff I had. It was the It was the other stuff. It was the laundry that really tripped me up for a long time. And that's why I say it took me 5 years to get it. So that's my story. Think about your story today and think about where you want your story to go and what can make a difference, because it can make a difference. I'm off to study again because, like I said, 3 modules, and apparently 2 half modules don't count the same amount of work as 1 whole module. They count the same amount of work as 2 whole modules. So I feel like I'm constantly studying at the moment. That's my day today. A little bit of mentoring. If you're on the FlyLady Premium site, I'll be hosting a live game later on, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. British time. So I will see you then. If not, I'll be back tomorrow with day 26. You all have a great day. Bye.